Hello everyone. Again, we're going to look at changing the impellers on the fuel transfer pumps in the large boat. Boat carries around 5,000 gallons in diesel bunkers, and in addition carries around 400 gallons in its day tank. So we're going to crawl down here into one of the equipment rooms where all the fuel transferred manifolds are located. And there's also two fuel transfer pumps. We'll look at some of the various plumbing, filtering mechanisms in place, and then we'll get into actually changing out the impellers. So bear with me and we'll climb on down. Alright, it's a little crowded down here, but let's take a look. Toward the back of the room, we have a fuel manifold system that comes from all the tanks, and also including the surge tank when filling up. Everything's done in stainless steel piping, and you can see the valves. As we rotate down through the front here, we have two large fuel systems, fuel filter system that actually filters down to 3 microns. And we also have a pressure gauge on top to monitor the pressure. As we go up just a little bit higher, we come across another fuel manifold system, and that actually pumps out to the tank. So you can theoretically pump from any individual tank, polish the fuel and return it to the same tank, or you can push it back to either one of the port aft or starboard aft tanks. Then there's a forward port and a forward starboard tank. In addition, over here, which is kind of really nice, is you have a fuel indicator that can show when fuel is being pumped, the little windmill will spin. What we're going to look at today is we need to come back down here, and we have a fuel transfer pump here, and we have a lower one, and the lower one is no longer pumping. It's going to use some kind of diesel appropriate impeller, and so that's what we're going to take out. The working room is kind of hard here, so I'm not sure how we're going to position the camera, so we might have to take a few shots from time to time. I have to kind of back up here and stick my head through this ladder to work over, so just don't really know where we're going to position the camera. Let's get set up for the next spot and we'll start. Okay, so we are set up here. We know there's going to be some diesel fuel in the transfer pump, and we tried to remove as much as possible. So let's try to set up so we can capture things here. It's kind of awkward to get in here due to having to work through the middle of the ladder. So let's see if we can't set something up and turn the valves off everywhere, so there shouldn't be any backflow. But I expect there to be a little bit of fuel in here, so let's see if we can make this work. And it looks like they're in there with screwdrivers. Let's see if we can find one of the right lengths. It's going to be too long. Another one that's too long, so we may have to do a little bit of searching for a stubby here. Let's see if this one will reach in here. Nope, just a little too short again. Well, let's give this one a little bit of a try here. See, I'm going to come in at a little bit of an angle. All right. There's not a drain on the bottom of the pump, so we'll just take these out and see what happens. Try to stay from blocking the camera, but the angles aren't that great. All right, 3 more left. All right. There goes the extra fuel in there. About half a cup worth. I did turn on the pump and try to push as much out, but I think most of the impeller vanes are going to be gone. Okay. I'll just let that drain a little bit more. Yeah, I can feel the impeller vanes just torn off in there. Oh, yep, here comes. You know what? Let me get a little spot to lay him out on so we can see him. All right, let me crawl back through the middle of the ladder again. Put these screws down in a side bilge here so we don't lose them. All right. Yeah, there we go. And there's the other impeller. Hopefully we'll be able to find all the vanes and know that nothing's clogging things up. Oh, here comes there's a gasket there, so let's go ahead and remove the cover now. Okay. Cover and a gasket. Looks just like a standard pump. Probably a cam on the bottom to compress the vanes and push over. Yep, I can feel. There we go. Another torn vane. Yep, there's another one back there. So on this boat, there's actually two transfer pumps. Yep, here comes another vane. So I'm thinking at this point, I do have an impeller extraction tool, but this one is so tore up, we don't really care about it. Let's just see if we can get there and pry it out a little bit without damage. I don't know if there's enough room to get the impeller tool in there. There we go. Let's pull out one more vane. Another piece of it. It is freely spinning now. We just get this to, there we go. Another vein. So we'll take all the parts up in a little while and check it. Don't really want to have to take any, oh, yeah, there we go. Another vein stuck in the import. Oh, sorry guys, I knocked the camera. Look at that. All right, that all feels pretty good now. Let's take a little bit closer look here. So, every part of this is gone. Can't see the make. Looks like a round, it slides on a round shaft, and there's no flat. So, we'll have to, but there's a keyway, there's a groove in the middle. So somewhere down inside this impeller where we can't see, there must be a matching key to go onto it. All right, let's get the stuff out of here. We will clean this up and we'll take a look at it where we get it back outside in the light. We can look at everything a little bit better. So we'll pause here for a minute and we'll catch back up. Let's see if we can identify the impeller and go from the next spot there. Okay, we're outside of the fuel room. Let's take a look at all of our pieces and see what we have here. Remember, this is a diesel transfer pump. So I'm trying to keep the gloves on to keep the smell away. So, looking here, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 veins. Check that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have one piece, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, part of 7. Definitely have there. So I think everything is pretty much here. It's going to be very hard to find it if it's not. It's probably gone through the whole system. So let's see if we can identify and make or model of the pump. Unfortunately, there's no stamping at this point. We have a little end cap here, which we probably can push out here with a little screwdriver. There is absolutely no writing on the end of the impeller. We have this round shape again. Let's see if we can get you guys a better look at it. We're going to need a light to see down in there, because there should be a mating groove where it slides on the shaft. Well, let's see if any of these might have a name or mark on them. Otherwise, we're going to have to do some measuring. I knew who the valve is made from. That piece is folded over for a long time. Again, no marks. So there's pretty much 4 full pieces. Call that 5. That's a partial. It's missing some of its ribbing, but no names. 6. We could probably argue that this guy came off here 7, and there's the rest of 8. There doesn't seem to be anything stamped on this at all. Alright, we're going to have to measure up the diameter of the hole. We do know it's red, so it was rated for fuel oil or diesel. So I think we'll just have to figure out the size and diameter, get that ordered, and we'll catch back up when we're doing the reassembly. All right, it might be a little noisy. We have the engines running at the moment. Here's actually what the impeller should look like in the plastic. Swing around here and see if we can get a shot of the pump for you guys. And then we'll get to reassembly. I don't know if this will work very well or not. There's the actual pump. Kind of down there. So it's kind of a tight spot we have to work in. Let me zoom back out so you can see a little better picture there. You have to work through the ladder rungs there, if you remember. All right, we're going to get things set up and we'll start the installation. Okay, I'll try to stay out of the way of the camera, but it's going to be hard, so I'm not sure what kind of video we're going to end up with. It's kind of back here, tucked away in the corner. Opening our impeller up right now. So this is a Globe Marine Products impeller. Has the ding drive, which means there's two little bumps on the inside that slide over a pseudo keyway on the motor shaft. This is supposedly a run dry impeller, up to 15 minutes, so we're not going to lubricate anything ahead of time. As soon as I open the valve, we'll have diesel fuel right there immediately on it, so see how hard this is to get it on. All right, see if I can work my body through the ladder rungs. And I'm just going to reach in there and feel that I have the keyway to the top. The motor spins freely and easily. So pretty much the bumps are lying just a little bit to the left of this impeller blade. So let's see what happens here. Of course, we have to get everything folded here. It might be a little harder than I think. If I have to, I'll go get a zip. I think I'm just going to go get a zip tie, guys. We'll fold that all up, then we'll come back. So I'm going to pause for a second, get a zip tie, fold it over. All right. So with the magic of off camera, I was able to get some zip ties on here and compress this. And we're going to see if we're going to be able to get it on. I did mark the alignment key path, so let's see what happens here. All right, so we're not going to need that first little one. We have it compressed plenty. So, all right, I'll check that that keyway's at the top. Okay, there it goes. I'm going to see if we can slide it over the zip ties, but I don't know if we're going to have much luck. All right, we're going to take off the third and second one now. And that's what I was afraid of. Our zip tie wants to disappear.
if we can't slide it back a little real gently. Nope, there, nope, trying to eat the zip tie again. Hey there. Let me call you back in about 3 minutes. Okay. All right. Sorry, phone call. We can edit that out. All right, there we go. Hopefully, if I did everything right, I aligned the rubber veins to go the right direction. I don't quite want it to let go yet. All right. That's what I was a little afraid of. May have slipped a little bit out of alignment in the process. Oh, there we go. We are now in. All right. I don't think I'm going to be able to put the screws in and show you guys, so we're going to pause the camera here. I'm going to get everything put back together, and I'll give you a finished shot, but essentially, I got to reach down here. Cam's at the top. As you can see, there's just no wear at all in the pump at all. So, I'll get that line back up. See if I can't get one of these started. Yeah, it's just not enough room with the camera. See if I can get them all started though. One more screw down there. All right, we got the filter there. My head's probably in the way of the camera shot at the moment. Yeah, come on. Bigger challenge is the upper transfer pump has a slow drip, maybe once every 30 seconds. And they do have a new lip seal. I'm going to have to undo a lot of plumbing to get in there. Just don't, there's not enough room. I don't even know if you could pull the lip seal on this one out. I can't get a good view inside. Okay. That is installation. And we'll give it a test off camera, but that's changing the red diesel impeller. Thanks for watching.
Well, that's going to complete the reassembly of the impeller and the lower pump. I'm going to go ahead and do the upper pump off camera. You've already seen how we've done that. I'm going to wipe everything down, get the diesel dripping that was down below the lower pump housing where we did have a small diesel drip. And that should complete that. So thanks for taking a little time to watch our video. If you have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you.